I like the fruit combination in cherry plum jam because it gives me the slightly tart plums with the really sweet cherries, and so it just works together really well. And depending on the color of plums you use, it gives you this really dark color. If you're using white plums, I suppose it could lighten it up a bit. I prepared 2 pounds of cherries by de-stemming them, washing them to remove any pesticide residue, and pitting them. But I do have to be careful because I know that this pitting device isn't always 100%, so I'll still watch for pits later. For my plums, I not only washed them, but I cut them off of their seed and then quartered them. Now I have 2 different options for making this jam. I can either mash all of my fruit or I can blend it, which is actually my choice. I feel like it goes a little bit faster. I like to do it on low though to make sure that I still get some good chunks out of it. I don't want it a really smooth puree. I still want it chunky. You could also do this in a food processor if you prefer, but I like the blender. It works well for me. So I'll put it on low and I'll have it go for about 20 seconds. Then I'll add my 2 pounds of plums to my cherries, and I'll blend it for about 20 to 30 seconds, just until those are chopped up and I don't see any more big chunks. I still want some little chunks though. Now I'll add my blended fruit into my pan. Then I'll add 6 tablespoons of pectin, 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice, and 1/2 teaspoon of butter. The butter is just to reduce the foaming. Now I'll place this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Now that it's come to a boil, I'll add 5 cups of sugar. I'll stir that in and then I'll bring it back to a boil. Now that it's come back to a boil, I'll set my timer for 1 minute and stir it consistently. This jam has just a little bit more foam in it, so I'll use a small gravy ladle and I'll collect all of my foam over in one area and I'll pull it out. I'll fill up my 1/2 pint jars to 1/4 of an inch of headspace, which is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. You can already get a feel for the taste because you smell it as you're filling up the jars. It's really fun. It makes you excited to make fresh bread, which is my all-time favorite thing to eat jam on. Actually, I'm making baguettes today, so I'm excited about that one. I'll use a clean damp cloth to wipe off the rim of my jars. This is just so that if any jam got on the edge that it won't interfere with the seal. Now I'll place my lids and rings on until they're fingertip tight. I'm using Superb lids. They're my new favorite. They totally reimagined the lid. It went from the tiny little button in the middle of it to really the whole thing sucks down. And I like the way it curves over my jars a little bit better. Sometimes I feel like the other ones stick out a little bit and can catch on things and unseal. And the blue seal that it has on it is like super spongy, so I feel like that does a good job. I have a link and a coupon code for 20% off in the description below, so go ahead and take a look at them. Now I'll process these in the boiling water bath for 10 minutes if I'm at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll go for 15, but I won't start my timer until after it starts to boil. Now that the processing time is done, I'll remove the lid, turn off the heat, and let it cool for 5 minutes. I'll then remove the jars from the canner and space them about 1 to 2 inches apart on a heat-resistant surface. This is just so that they can cool quickly. I'll leave them there for 24 hours so that they can get a good seal. I can tell that they've got a good seal if the center of the lid has depressed down. If it has, then I remove the ring, wash off the outside with hot soapy water, and place it in a cool, dry, dark location and use it in the next 1 to 3 years. If for some reason any of them didn't seal, I would place them in the refrigerator and use them right away. Cherry plum jam. I've got my fresh bread, which is great when I have the taste testers. It's great anytime. Okay. So it's kind of fun because you get the plum taste in there with that little bit of tartness, but then you have the cherry to kind of help flesh out that flavor. So it's a really fun combination.